I need it for that moment I was looking for. I had mine that I traveled with. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Sabbath and peace to all you Hebrews, real brews. It's truly a blessing and an honor to keep the Shabbat day with the children of Israel, the Most High's chosen people. The Most High has been so gracious and kind to bring us together once again as we embark on the Torah. Today we're going to go over the section of Torah called the Barashit, which is the beginning, the creation, all right, of everything that we know, understand, see, experience was created by the Creator. So he allows us in Torah, in writings, to know of a time that we did not exist. We're going to be reading of a time before our existence. And as we come into existence, the Most High will show us how we arrived upon this earth, how we breathe the air we breathe, how we consume the vegetation that we consume, and everything that's given to us under the sun. Hallelujah. It was supposed to be done last week. What was that? I didn't do that class. Yeah, who did that class? The closing. It was supposed to have done the closing. I don't think it was done, but it was supposed to have been done the closing. But it would throw our schedule way off, if we continue. So you'd have to review that on your own. I didn't do the closing. All right. So, but today is Barashit either way. Right. So we have to start off on the right foot at the right time. Okay. So we're going to go into that. So let's get Colossians 3 verse 17. All right. Because we're going to take a trip to the past. All right. We're going way to the
Colossians 3 and 17.
Hallelujah.
And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem, Hamashach Yahushai, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him, by Hashem, Hamashach Yahushai, Thwaratam Yad, Amen.
Right. So all things we do in word or deed, we give thanks to the Most High in the name of His Son, the anointed Savior. Right. Who, as we go into, this beginning, know that He was created before all things were created. Right. But we're going to get all that understanding. So a lot of scripture to go over today. We're going to try to go through it as smoothly without, but I know there's a lot of information.
No extra precept.
We're going to expound a bit, but we're going to try to keep it moving because we got to go from Genesis 1 and 1 to 6 and 8, right? I mean, we could do 3 hours in Genesis 1, right? But we can't do that. Everybody understand that? So we're going to give the understanding, we're going to give the sense of the scriptures, and then we're going to kind of keep it rolling. Hallelujah. All right, so let's get Genesis 1 and 1.
Genesis 1 verse 1. In the beginning, the powers created the heaven and the earth.
Right.
And the earth was without form and void.
Right. So in the beginning, the powers created the heavens and the earth. Okay, the heavens and the earth. Everybody look at that word heaven. Right? Very important. That word heaven in the Hebrew, Shemayim. Right? Even though it's singular, it represents multiple different things, the word heaven, okay? Even though it's singular, written singular. Because there's more than one heaven. Everybody understand that? Let's prove that. Let's prove that. Now we're going to dissect this first verse a bit, and then we're going to roll through. Okay. Get Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. All right. Chapter 12.
Start from 1 or 2?
Huh?
Start from 1 or 2?
2.
2 Corinthians 12, verse 2. I knew a man in a Mashiach about 14 years ago, whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell. The Most High knoweth. Such as one taught up to the third heaven.
Which heaven?
To the third heaven.
To the third heaven. Such a one caught up to the third heaven. What's the third heaven? Is where the angels dwell, where the Most High dwells. So if there's a third heaven where the angel and the Most High dwells, there has to be a first and second heaven. Everybody understand that? All right. So he says, in the beginning, the Most High created heaven and the earth. But of course, he didn't create the third heaven, because where would he be dwelling? Right? So the angels are already dwelling. They already have a dwelling place. So that heaven is not being created. Everybody understand that? So when you're talking about in the beginning, it's in the beginning of all we see, know, understand, and hear. It's not the beginning of the Most High, right? For he is the Ancient of Days. His realm always existed. Everybody understand that? So that's not the beginning of angels. It's not the beginning of spirits. It's not the beginning of any of those things. This beginning is the beginning of the world in which we live in, all right? All right? The realm in which we live in is the beginning of this realm, all right? Let's read it again, Genesis 1.
Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, the Elohims created the heaven and the earth.
Right, if you notice, the priest says Elohim, and the Bible says God, right? Oftentimes, the word Yahweh was translated as God. But in Torah, when you're reading this first verse, right, it says Elohim or Elohim, which is powers, right? The powers created the heaven and earth. So who are the powers that created the heaven and the earth? All right, let's get Proverbs 8 and 17, and then we're going to get Hebrews 1 and 1.
Proverbs 8, verse 17.
Come.
I love them that love me.
It's like 8 and 22.
22? Okay.
Yeah, go down.
And the Most High possessed me in the beginning
Right.
of his way,
Right?
before his works of old.
Uh-huh.
I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning.
From the what?
From the beginning.
So then we read in Torah, first line, in the beginning. He said the Most High possessed me from everlasting. He said he was there in the beginning. He wasn't created in the beginning, but he was present in the beginning. Right? Read on.
I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning,
Right?
or ever the earth was.
Right. So he said he was set up, was not created, but he was set up in the beginning before the earth was even created. Read on.
When there was no depths, I was brought forth.
Right?
When there was no fountains abounding with water,
Uh-huh.
before the mountains were settled,
Uh-huh.
before the hills was, I was brought forth.
Come on.
While as yet he had not made the earth,
Right?
nor the fields,
Come on.
nor the highest part of the dust of the world.
Right?
When he prepared the heavens, I was there.
I was what?
I was there.
So he's saying I was there before all that we see and understand was there. So the Most High, his angels, they were there. They already existed, right? So we have to keep that in mind, that this is a creation of the Most High. This is not the fullness of the Most High that we see here. We cannot imagine the fullness of the Most High. Everybody understand that? We're just but one creation, right? The scriptures say, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. So we understand that we're but a mansion in the Father's creation. We don't know how much more does he have, right? So it's very humbling to understand that, listen, the Most High, his angels, Hamashiach Yahushua, the world calls Jesus Christ, right? They are not held to this creation here. We are, right? This is for us. This is our mansion. This is where the Most High set us as people, right? But we don't know what else he has out there. Everybody understand that? As far as our eyes can see, right? And as far as we can comprehend. Esau come with all this technology, swear he's in the Milky Way. Listen, there's a lot of lies out there. I don't want to bust your bubble, because I know they show it on the graphics, and you see in Star Trek, and you think they're flying somewhere. All that is happening in Hollywood in one building. Okay? They flew nowhere. All right? They flew nowhere. We're going to make it abundantly clear as we go through these scriptures that we are held and bound to this earth that we dwell on. All right? Let's read.
When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth.
Right. When he decided which way is north, east, south, west. He said, I was there when he made this decision. All right, read on.
When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep.
Come on.
When he gave to the sea his decree, what the water should not pass, his commandment. When he appointed the foundations of the earth.
Read.
Then I was by him, as one brought up with him.
Right.
And I was daily his delight.
And I was what?
Daily his delight.
And I was daily his delight. So I was with him while he was doing this, but you know what? I was his delight. Why was he his delight? Why was he his delight? Wisdom. He says she wisdom. Let's read. Yes.
Rejoicing always before him. Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth. And my delights were with the sons of men.
And my delights was what?
With the sons of men.
So then, she, the wisdom, was given unto the sons of men. Right? Read on.
Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways.
Right.
Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not.
Right.
Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors.
So this wisdom, as a brother eloquently put, she, I said he, but it's she, right? Like the water, right? Dwells from before all that we see is created. All right? From all that we see is created. So when the scriptures talk about the Elohim or the Elohim, we have to understand that every thought, every emotion, I'm trying to use the words that we use today, spirit, right? They're all parts of the Most High. We are all part of the Most High, okay? He is in everything and through everything, okay? So we cannot contain him to one being, all right? He's beyond that, right? But we have to understand how the Most High operates. That all of us creations are part of the Creator, okay? But he says, as he built all these things, I was with him, and I was his delight, this wisdom. But bodily, was that wisdom contained in something? Was it contained in a being or a spirit? Let's see. Give me St. John. Give me St. John 1:1, and you're holding Hebrews 1, right? And we're in Hebrews 1. Let's see all the powers that were there, or the creation of the Most High. Read that.
St. John 1 verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning
Right.
was the Word.
Right.
And the Word was with Yah.
Hold on now. What's the word? But it's him bodily, but what is the word? Wisdom, right? Yahweh is wisdom, right? Bodily, right? Shown to us, brought to us, walking amongst us. Okay? Right? Read.
In the beginning was the Word.
In the beginning was the Word. Read on.
And the Word was with Yah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Word was Yah.
And the Word was Yah. I mean, the Word is a part of him. Right? Read on.
The same was in the beginning.
Right?
With the Elohims.
With what?
With the Elohim.
With the Elohim. The same was in the beginning with the Elohim. So Yahweh Shai, yes, he was there. The same was there with the Elohim, with the powers. So now we're starting to see a picture here like, okay, you got the Most High, you got Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, you got all these spirits of wisdom. Everybody understand this? This is going to allow you to understand what the garden was about, all these things, right? It's a containment of wisdom, of power from the Most High. All right, read that. You're going to, okay, you go to Hebrews 1:1.
Hebrews 1 verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The Most High, who at sundry times in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he have appointed heir of all things,
right?
By whom also he made the world.
He did what?
He made the world.
So by whom he also made the worlds. So now we understand what's happening in Genesis 1. Who's there? Right? We have the powers. We have wisdom. We have a Mashiach Yahweh Shah. We got the power of the Most High. All of them are there. Why are they there? Because they always was there. They didn't go to a particular place. We're in their place. You understand what I'm saying? We're created in their place. Let's say if you create something in the middle of this room. So we all get together and create something in the middle of this room. We all existed already, right? And we work, and this is what we're going to do here. So we're in this creation that we are. We're in the house of the Most High, right? We're in His place. We're in that heaven that He dwells in. We're something inside of His heaven. All right. So, illustration-wise, if I can give some understanding, I'm gonna try to put it on the table, Salakia, because you won't be able to see it. So I'm gonna move this aside. Slide that side a little bit too, the water. It's too far forward from me. Huh? Go in the front? I may have to go in the front. We're working this out right now. We're doing things we haven't done before. All right, so I can. All right, I may have to go in the front. Let me go in the front so we can explain this correctly. All right. We gotta go. All right, we're gonna work it like this. Everybody can see this board, right? Okay, so we're gonna work it like this. All right, so this board now represents the heaven, right? The third heaven, all right, where the angels and the Most High body dwelleth, right? So let's start with that. Read the last verse you was at, and we'll pick it up from there.
In the beginning, the Elohim created the heaven and the earth.
Right.
And the earth was without form.
Right.
And void.
Right. So you got the powers. You got the angels. Right. They're all around in this space. It all belongs to them. Read.
And void.
So he said they can create an earth was formed without void. Go ahead.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Right. So then you have darkness, right, in this space. Good.
And the spirit of the Elohim moved upon the face of the waters.
So these spirits moving. Read.
The Elohim said, "Let there be light."
Right.
And there was light.
Right. So he created something called light. So now we have light. Right. And the light is in that space that is creating the earth. Okay.
And the Elohim saw the light, and it was good.
Uh-huh.
And the powers divided the light from the darkness.
Made a division. Right.
And the Elohim called the light day.
Right.
And the darkness he called night.
Mm-hmm.
And the evening and the morning were the first day.
So then they determined that from that point on, what a day is. So a day was created here too, right? We call it day, but there's two different definitions of the word day. Everybody realize that? Because he called the light day, but then he said, and the evening and the morning was what? Was a day. So we have two different definitions for the word day. A day means that he set a time for the light and he set a time for darkness. And once those times are completed, then it's a day. So that's why all our high holy days start when? Sundown. Also sundown, but the sun is not created yet. It starts in the darkness, right? And our days finish in the light. So our days go this way, right? When this time is completed and this time is completed, it starts back, right? A rotation. Every day is a rotation, right? Dark comes first, then the light. Any questions on that? There was darkness. He created light. The evening, the night, and the day was a day. A day has been completed, okay? So the first day, we learned what a day is, right? That it has two different meanings. One meaning light and one meaning time. A dispensation of time. Read.
And the Elohim said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
So far, what does he have done in the water so far? What has he done in the water so far? What has God done? He separated the waters, right? What else he did? He created light in the waters, right? So we have a light in the water, and we have it separated from the darkness. And then he said,